We clock. We study the stars to clock the cycles of life. You have to understand that life is based on cycles. Everything in the world is cyclical. And that's why ancient Egypt were proficient stargazers. The time of rejuvenation, of spiritual revitalization was the winter solstice. Heru pa kahat. Rupa kahat. Put the R over here, and the S in here, and you have Heru the Christ. Or some churches in America say Karast. So the celebration of Christmas, okay, that you have today is a potpourri of different traditions. What comes to the sun is just that sunlight. There are millions of different wavelengths in that radiation with it. And that's what all things are made from. Kundalini yoga is the cultivation of the solar force. There's no other force. So you can see this is the cultivation of force. The solar energy comes through the eyes, right? Travels into a gland called the pineal gland. Okay? The pineal gland produces a hormone called melatonin. Scientists can talk to you about the physiological effects of melatonin, but it also has a lot of spiritual and psychical functions. People join churches in cycles, lead churches in cycles. People get married in cycles. You know, people died of this type of illness in cycles. Plagues came in cycles. Everything is subject to the laws of cycles. You with me? Why precisely at the winter equinox at midnight will the world come to an end? You see that date again? They didn't say 2012. They said the winter solstice. Midnight. They are precise about it. Right? What's going to happen on that day? There are 10 divine principles, but you know, in your manifested being, and one in your unmanifested being, right? And there are laws that if you live by them, you will realize your divinity. Right? This is eloquent. Is a okay. By now you should know that you apply by heart, right? This is eloquent. It's a picture of the universe. They can make a postage stamp out of it. Send the truth around the world on an envelope. Man, in other words, yeah, if you want to explain truth to the world, you have to make it concise. You see that? It'll take you years to fully master this little diagram here. Okay? this is this particular presentation, right? Meaning, is this graphic presentation the Jews, right? But the arrangement or the principles comes from ancient Egypt, 1,000 years before there was Abraham. Okay? Now, what is the tree of life? What is its purpose? When you go into almost all of the major religions in the world, you'll find that they all claim that man is made in the likeness of God. Right? What you have to understand by that statement is that that statement establishes the foundation of religion. Right? You should be able to use the word religion as a verb. Your language major, can I use the word religion as a verb? Like to religion.
If it's your own meaning.
No, can I use it for everybody? To religion. Yes, you can. That's what authors do all the time, right? Writers are always expanding the use of language. Words serve thinking, not thinking serve words. Okay? Because religion means reunion. To reunite to religion. I know you might want to form some other suffixes, but I'm just going to let the pundits word that out. I simply say to religion. You see, I'm expanding your thinking. You see that? Because religion means to reunite. Yoga means to unite. Yoga, to unite, to yoke. And that's what yoga is supposed to do, to unite man with God. Eh? But it's a reunion, meaning once you were together, you got separated by the fact of birth. What separated you? Birth. You were born an infant, not aware of your divine nature, right? And you have to go back into it to reunite yourself with your divine nature. And of course, you're born into an ignorant culture that keeps you separated. You see that? Okay? To religion, to reunite. So the problem is that separation from God. If you're separate from God, you're not therefore sharing in God's omniscience, God's omnipotence, God's omnipotence. That's what you want to, because you see, you, even though you are qualitatively the same as God, eh? Like a drop of water has the same qualities as the ocean, but you can't sail a ship in a drop of water. That drop of water has the same life-giving abilities, attributes. So it's a quantitative difference, you see that. So, I'm the likeness of God, but although God can influence everybody in this room, I can't unless I unite with God. You see that? I got to accomplish something, you see that? And I need Camille here and Eugene over here to help me out. You see that? So if I pray or do a ritual of meditation for these people to help me out, I cannot force them to do that. Okay? But if I observe the divine laws, I unite with God. You see that? And God will make sure that Camille and Eugene assist me in my goals. But then I have to be one with the laws of God. I have to be part of the divine plan. I have to be moving in the same way and direction that God is moving. Are you following me with this? So that is the foundation of religion. The reunion and the reason for that reunion This is what I get.
Islam. Peace to all the Moors worldwide. We're here once again for our Moorish Kemetic connection session. Today, the content is going to be some of the winter solstice, 42 declarations or 42 principles of maat, and more. Islam, brother KTS.
Islam, peace.
Please.
Yeah.
We're here.
We're here, man. Yeah, we missed it yesterday. It was hot, but it's okay. We did it today.
Straight.
Yes, sir. So I want everyone to get the pen and paper out and accumulate their questions for the last few weeks. And as we speak, today we're going to be ending it with the actual 20-minute meditation, the ma'at, weighing of the heart, or the watching of the soul's meditation. And but with all that being said, you know, I want to actually just reread a couple of things and go over a couple of things. And, you know, I didn't have much of anything prepared, so we're just going to start talking. Yeah. So there's a lot been going on, and people need to understand that there's a time and place for everything. There's a season and a cycle for everything. And between September and December is the time for JuPtahKTS. You know, that's the time when you got to confront yourself first, your lower self first, and cut off your lower self first, and then confront and cut off people outside. So, you know, been doing the talking about that and understand there's a cycle and a season for that, so that you can prepare for the solstice, because now is the time you want peace of mind. You don't want to be thinking about anything, anyone, nothing but yourself, as we should be throughout the year. And the JuPtahKTS ritual is based on the meditations and your meditation journal that you did throughout the year, starting at February, which we're going to start now in February. So this is all in just in the pre times of getting ready for the beginning of the solstice of February 21st. It's the culmination of the last years, and the classes that we've been doing setting the foundation of the Moors and Kemet, which are one. Was just so you can get that foundation in the Moor and at the Canaanland Moors, the foundation of the Moorish science, to understand the connection with Kemet, so that we could actually get into the work of Kemet, which is all based on this book, the Meditative 4. You know what I mean? So the work that we're focusing on right now is based on the Meditative 4. Now there's 7 Meduneters, and there's a way to go about using them. They're not reading books, they're workbooks, and each one has this very specific title. Some of them are a specific topic. Some of them work together. So like part 1 and part 3 work together. Part 2 and part 4, you can use part 2 as a reference for part 4. But people, so people can understand. Part 1 is the oracle system, the great oracle system of Tahuti, right? Let me see here. Hold on. They're not too far away from me. So part 1 is the great oracle system of Tahuti.
Yeah, I have them up on the screen right now so they could see.
So yeah. So I'll just so they can see which one they're, and that shows you the foundations, like super foundations. This is a very thick book, and it's very dense material. It's very dense, small writing. So it's like 400 plus pages. So this one teaches you the foundations and the oracle system. Then part 3, it simplifies it, much shorter book, a lot less material, and it specifically goes into the oracle systems and explains the 2 trees of life, right? And then you have part 4, and part 4 and part 2. So part 2 is an initiation system also, so people might get confused, but it's not based on the solar cycle. You can do it at any time. It's a rites of passage, and you start from the bottom of the tree at Geb, and you work your way up. So Ra Nefer Amen himself, I spoke to him many times. I've learned directly from him. I spent a lot of time, in my mind, got to spend a lot of good time with him to ask questions and learn directly. And he told me specifically and directly that Meditative 4 is the focal point. It is the initiation process. It's the initiate. It's what everybody who's ever getting into it, or even someone like me who's been reading and dealing with and working with the books for 25 plus years, it's the one I focus on the most, because it's what we're supposed to do day to day, every year. So people could understand and get a breakdown of the books. There's a lot of questions about that. So part 2 is an initiation process also, but it's not based on the solar cycle. Meditative 4 is the one we use to do the initiation, because it's like we said, there's a time and place and a season for everything. So there's a time to meditate on the law of a man. There's a time to meditate on the law of a seer, and time to meditate and reason on the law of Tahuti and Seker and so on, right? So that's what this is about. And even the author, Rodman, said it himself. If you're going to deal with any book, deal with this. Then from this, you have part 5, which is a health book, more specifically, the keys to health and longevity. And this one actually comes with the CD. So this is good for general meditation for health. And then the last one, or not the last one, part 6 is the other tree of life, which is the raw tree of life. Now, this is something that you can only really start to work with after you really get a good working grasp of part 4, because this is like the vehicle. This is the car that we have. This is the energy matter. So the energy system, right down to the body, to the actual physical body, right up to the highest aspect of the soul or the spirit, which is the ba. So 7 divisions, right? But this is the vehicle. A seer is the driver. So you got to learn how to drive first before you can actually drive and empower yourself in speed and go over hill with 4x4, whatever it might be. So people can understand. You need to. This is the driver, consciousness itself, that drives the energy matter, the spirit, Ra, Asir and Ra. So this book you got to work with for a few years to really get knowing, and then use this a bit. I barely use this book, to be honest, but I read through it and I know to understand the concept. It's about words of power. So instead of meditating like this, you would meditate on something based on this, and then you would do the words of power in here. There's 72 words of power. Okay. And then part 7, this goes back to the work, this kind of work, but very specific about the solstice and very specific meditations, realizing the proof of divinity. To be honest, I haven't gotten into this one too much either. It's part 7. Well, I read through it, but it basically goes over the foundations of the 7, the divisions of the spirit, and it goes over the rituals for the solstice and certain parts. So this is good. So what we want to put up now, Grand Sheet, if you could put up this one, because this is what we focus on. So what we're going to be doing today, can you put this one up, part 4?
Yeah.
Respect, fam. So I'm going to get into this, and then we can have a couple questions before we get into the meditations. Is there any questions right now?
I don't think there was any.
Okay.
Right now, hold on. Part 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Asarian resurrection. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
While you're doing that, you got it up?
Yeah, it's up there.
All right, nice. Okay, so got to understand, keep in mind, and I want this to be reiterated, the Heru Behutet ritual that lasts 3 months is very critical to this, because you don't want to be thinking about the people, or first of all, you don't want to be thinking about the stuff that you have to deal with. You don't have to think about the stuff that you have to confront within yourself. You can't think about those things. You can't think about the people you have to confront. You can't think about exterior and internal confrontations at this point. At this point, you're in a whole other state of mind where you're just weighing out your actions with yourself in your consciousness. It's you and Asir, the chief judge, and Maat, who is the law itself. So everything works together. So work to be chapter 16 out of Meditative 4. page 251. Work to be performed between December 20th to the 24th. The winter solstice, the final judgment. This is, as the saying goes, the most wonderful time of the year. It is the time when the spirit, a seer, within you, your conscious, now armed with the 11 laws of God, judges you to pronounce you ma-keru. That's ma'a, M-A-A-keru, K-H-E-R-U, ma-keru. That means one whose word is the law of God. Once the great work, the opera magnum, has been completed, a lesser judgment that shows that you are well on your way is also of magnificent value. Not only will you receive a verdict, you will also be shown things that you have missed, ways to improve your person, and a tremendous amount of insight into spirituality, especially as it concerns to your life and the life of people that you are involved with. So, the work of the winter solstice. 1. Preliminaries. A week or two before starting around December 6th, you must embark on a totally healthy diet. It must be free as much as possible of pesticides, food additives, junk, which you should have eliminated anyway along the last 10 months. A vegetarian diet is preferred. You can get more details about this. Well, they are online forum, but you can get more details about this from Health Club for Men. So that's something I run, is the Health Club for Men, and we've been doing juice fasting well over 25 years, and fasting and detoxes and everything. So yeah, if you're gonna do one detox a year, one fast a year, one juice cleanse, whatever, this is the time to do it, because it's the most optimal time to let go and do that. So we're not going to get into the details of that. Just generally understand that, and we can write down your questions, or we can get into that another time. The solstice work consists of 4 days of meditation. You should make the greatest effort to dedicate all available time and energy to this. So if you're going to practice Kemetic spirituality and live cosmology, then every night is when we do meditations, and you can do one in the morning, but generally every night you do what the mini judgments. So like this is the final judgment, but every night you kind of do the same thing. You go into meditation and you do your best. Like, no one's perfect. I don't know last time we did that, but it's like, you do it when you can, and you do it regularly. So it's at least somewhat consistently. So this is the consistency of what it is. So you go into trance with Zazen or one of our guided meditation CDs. So I recommend the Kemetic guided meditations because every law also has music tones. So like you play the certain CDs, these are very, very specifically made and crafted with the exact tones and melodies, both with the instruments and the singing, for that specific energy, that law of maat. So I would recommend you can get those, and you can look them up online, or you can get them through the grant sheet here from right here at the Canaanland Moorish. Okay, so you go into trance, and once in trance, so I'm going to explain this meditative quickly. What you want to do is sit in an upright position on a chair, comfortable. Well, and the way you breathe is you do belly breathing, not chest, and not lung breathing, and not diaphragm breathing. You breathe from the belly down, from the belly, and you do counts of 8. You do counts of 8 in and counts of 8 out, and you feel your belly, and you're in a comfortable position, and your eyes are open, and your hands are down, touching your thighs. It's very specific, and it's it's very specific, and it's detailed. So it's like, just like in the statues, you see the statues, they're sitting there, they're actually in meditative position. They're showing you and teaching you how to be in the exact perfect meditative state. And it's actually very, very simple and almost common sense. So during this meditation, so in trance, you will go through the declarations of freedoms from sin that you have prepared for the occasion. These are all of the declarations pertaining to all of the challenges in your life as recorded in your journal. So throughout the year, you start at February and you start with Amen, and you do a meditation journal, and every night you focus on one of the laws, and you focus on one aspect of the law or something aspect of your life pertaining to the law, and you write a journal. So at this point, you go through that, okay? And these are all of the declarations. So you have to write a declaration for the 42 laws of Ma'at based on what you did for the year and what you need. So during this meditation, your conscious The spirit of Asar will concur that you are free of each of the sin, or with your admission of having sinned here and there. So you say, I have not done this, or I'm not doing this. I don't get mad at my kids for this no more. I don't get mad, or I don't get this because of that. When you go through it specifically for yourself, and you either can say your consciousness will either tell you that you are free from it, or you will have to admit that, I'm not really free from it. And next year now, when February comes in, I have to work on it again. All right. So you will receive, it's like software updating it, real talk. This is like software updates every year for this.
Yeah.
So you will receive additional insight into these things, into the things that you're doing wrong and that escape your awareness. So during this time, during meditation, you're going to have some great insights in your life. You will repeat this process several times in trance. You will go through the entire recitation 3 or 4 times. You will also meditate on each of the 11 laws during the 4 days, over and over again. The ideal is for you to spend as much as up to 8 hours in meditation a day, each session lasting about an hour. 8 hours for over the 4 days. Right? So this is extreme because because every night you would just meditate for 20 minutes a night. That's it. That's all you really need to do every night. So this saying to meditate for an hour every couple of hours for 4 days, that is, it's what it would seem extreme, but it just shows you the importance and what's really happening at this time of the year. You really want to just be in some serious meditative state during these 4 days. And it's not like a lot of us don't know this. Most of us know these things. It's just a matter of detailing it, fine-tuning it. Okay, I know I need to fast. Okay, I know I need to do the detox. I know I need to meditate. Okay, this is the time. Okay, great. This is the time I'm going to really put all my energy into it and I get the most out of it. Okay, I know about the 11 laws of maat. They actually go hand in hand with the laws, the principles of Moorish science. Okay, so now I know which one I can focus on at which time of the year. So it's just about fine-tuning the science and becoming more fine-tuned. So we've been doing it. A lot of the stuff we're doing it, but now it's about really applying it and refining it.
Mm-hmm.
So then it says here, okay, now we're going to go into the 42 declarations. I'm actually going to say them. So, and this is different than the average ones you're going to hear, because the average ones you hear are just what's been the common translation. But this is the essence of it here. So again, you will meditate on the 11 laws during the 4 days over and over again. The ideal is for you to spend as much as 8 hours in meditation over the 4 days. Lasting each session, you last about an hour to meditate. Some people could do it 2. I can definitely not. Okay, an hour is max. So the classical 42 declarations, not confessions of freedom from sin that was used in ancient Egypt, must also be meditated upon in trance at this time. Select the ones that are appropriate to this day and age. To be said, one cometh to the double hall of Ma'ati, of separating from sins, all of which you have done, and of seeing the faces of all the Neteru. Next, great God, Lord of the double hall, Ma'ati, I have come to thee, my Lord. I have brought myself that I may see thy beauties. I know thee. I know the names of the 42 Neteru, who exist within thee in the hall of Ma'ati, and who lives as the punishers of sinners, who live upon their blood on day that of reckoning. Inclinations before Un Neferu.
Well, pardon the interjection.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking where could they find the 11 laws?
Yeah, in all the books, pretty much all the books have it.
Probably online too, Medu Netter, 11 laws or something.
Yeah. There's another book called The 11 Laws of Ma'at itself. You can pull that one up. That's, I can give you a shot of one, a picture. Hold on.
I'm looking it up right now. All right, 11 laws of Ma'at.
Yeah, that's the book there. So the 11 laws of Ma'at now, so people can understand there's 42 declarations of Ma'at, and then there's the 11 laws of Ma'at themselves. So now you need to live the 11 laws of Ma'at in order to be able to declare the 42 declarations of Ma'at. Once you live it, then you can do the things that it says, like as we're about to get into. Because there's many ways to say the laws of Ma'at, the 11 laws, but generally, I'm gonna read a bit. Just since that question came up,
Yeah.
I'm going to just read the 11 laws quickly before we get into this, because we could at least read the names of them and what the general thing is. So just give me 2 seconds here. Gotta find a book. All right, so yeah, this one here. So we're going to read a quick little excerpt before we actually read the 42 declarations of Ma'at. We'll read a little quick little thing for the 11 laws of Ma'at. It's a timely question. So the 11 laws of Ma'at. Here's a nice, if you want to take a snap, can we take a snapshot or something? Oh, you have it up there. Okay, probably.
Yeah.
So you can put the tree of life up. Show the tree of
All
life.
right.
That's the best way to do it. Put one of the trees of life up there that you have. That's the best way to look at it, because it all works within a system. Just like a number only has value based on its relationship to another number. Okay, remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Relationship only has a value based on its other number. A number on its own has no value, really. It's based on other numbers that it starts to get its value. So just the tree of life, there's only 9 numbers. And the tree of life represents all the 9 numbers and the essence of the 9 numbers. So they only make sense because they connect to another number. Okay, so that's why it's important to understand the whole and not just the part in all aspects of life. Sorry, just give me a second here. I'm trying to find this certain page. Okay, so here we go. So here's one way to understand the 11 laws of Ma'at, but you need to understand there's a lot of ways to look at them. But this is one summarizing way, one way to look at it. So the law of Amen. You were made in the likeness of a peace that nothing can disturb. Reclaim your peace that you may attain your reason for coming into existence, the enjoyment of life. Okay, so that's the law. That's the general one way to look at the law of a man. There's many aspects and variations and deductions. So you can deduct the law of a set, a seer, tahudi, seker from the law of a man, and you get lots of different information. You can deduct the law of a man from a seer and tahudi. It's a science. Like you can add and deduct numbers, and you get more thorough and deeper information. Okay, so these are the amen. We said amen. A seer, okay, and amen is 0. The number 0. A seer is the number 1. Your nature is an unconquerable peace. Therefore, nothing or no one in the world can be against you. All experiences come to you to improve your reclamation of peace, that you may in turn acquire wisdom and power. Number 2 is a seer. Tahudi. Tahudi, number 2. When all of your thoughts, feelings, and actions reflect the word of God, then the power of God's Spirit and a peace that nothing can challenge will flow through your being. That's the law of Tahudi. Okay. The law of Seker, number 3. When the emotions of man manifest in response to the word of God, they have the power to influence the course of any and all events in the world. That's Seker. Okay. That was 3. Number 4, Ma'at. God needs you in order to come into the world. Fulfilling God's need is the highest act of love, and only through your love for God can you fulfill your love for others. Become the love of God in the world for the protection of the world. That's Ma'at, number 4. Number 5, Hirakuti. Know that God neither punishes nor rewards nor protects, that you will have the comfort of controlling these for yourself. That's Hirakuti, number 5. Number 6, Heru. You have the power, but not the right to ignore God's law. Choose to follow the law of God with the love and joy that grows out of understanding, and the wisdom of power of God's Spirit will flow through your being. Number 7, Heru. It is not what you imagine, it is who is imagining. Are you human or divine? Number 8, Sebek. It is not what you think or what you affirm. It is who is thinking and affirming. Are you a human or a divine being? And then number 9, Aset. Prepare to sacrifice everything to become the vessel of God on earth, and you will in turn receive everything. And then number 10 is, know that from heaven you came, and to heaven you will return. Seek not enduring works on earth. So that is one fundamental way to know the 11 laws. But remember, there's many deductions and additions to that when you combine. That's the metu. The 11 laws are the 11 metu, and the combinations are called metutu. So there's this whole chapter is on the metutu, and you get great, more detailed information. So that is one way to look at them. And then all that being said is that when the way you know these have a lot more meaning is when you understand your destiny. You go see an elder and you do an oracle reading, a Kemetic oracle card reading, and you at least ask what is your destiny on earth and what your name is, and you can get a proper Kemetic understanding. And then when you see different laws and different numbers, then they have more significance in your life. So like I was saying before, every number only has its meaning based on its relationship with other numbers. So that was really good question, very timely to give a little background with the 11 laws. That's cool. And so the 11 laws, you live those, and then you can declare the 42 declarations. And you notice that it's 11 laws of Ma'at, but it only goes up to the number 10. That's why we say 10 laws, not 11 laws, because when you look into it deeper, 0 is Amen, so it only goes up to 10, even though there's 11. So people hear like 10 laws, that's why. Okay, so because once you understand the knowledge, then things like that don't confuse you. Knowing the 10 laws, and then there are 11 laws of Ma'at, knowing the 42 declarations of Ma'at, knowing your 5 principles, Moorish science principles, how that connects to the top 5 of the Kemetic tree of life. So when you know these basic things, it gives you a lot more clarity. And then you understand there's another tree of life where are the rest of the deities? Where are the rest of the Kemetic God? Okay, there's a raw tree of life too. So then that's where I'm going to see Nephet, and that's where I'm going to see Set maybe on there, and that's where I'm going to see, I'm going to see Noon, I'm going to see like what's it called, like Shu, Tef, Nut, Geb, and all. We want to see them. So there's other trees of life. So when you understand these different things, then you can get a better idea. So that was a really good timely question.
Another question someone had is, can a scoliosis surgery affect the activation of chakras and other forms of enlightenment?
Well, that's a really deep question. Wow. At the end, for me to give out like a straight, direct answer would be irresponsible, because that is a really deep and layered question. You know what I mean? That's a layered question. There's so much to ask, so many variables.
Well, if anything, you could put out an email and maybe they could email you about that or something.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it really depends on the spiritual level of the individual. If you want to get really blunt about it, it depends on the spiritual level of the individual. Because there's people on spiritual levels, which are not many on this world. I would not claim to be one of them. But they're where like nothing physical affects them spiritually, like on the conscious level, because spiritual is physical. So on the higher conscious level, there's few people. Bobby Hemmett spoke on this, talking about eating anything, doing whatever, and you can still be okay because you're conscious. But you see, even with him, he was there for a while, but then it's hard to maintain. So you see, he gets affected. God bless Bobby Hemmett. All the best to you. Love you, man. Well, just a good example of like, because that coincides with that type of question. Can you do certain things and still not be affected spiritually or consciously? Rather say consciously. It really depends on the spiritual conscious level of the individual.
Right, of the individual.
I would say it would be hard not to be, because most of us would be affected.
Yeah.
You have to do a lot of work, man. That's a lot of work. That's very layered. Yeah, you're talking about like preparation, like years of work with that. Yeah, man. That's serious. But you can contact the email. Send us the email.
What's the address, the email address and stuff?
Send it to JuPtahKTS@hotmail.com, and then I'll forward it to a practitioner too. JuPtahKTS@hotmail.com.
Any other questions out there? All right, everybody's all right for now.
All right. So what we were saying was the 11 laws of Ma'at. You live the 11 laws of Ma'at based on rituals, the initiation process, and then you can declare the 42 declarations during the solstice. And then and the connection between all the different aspects. There are 10 laws, 11 laws, and 42 declarations. So we were just about to get into the 42 declarations, and a brother asked a question about the 11 laws, which we went over, which was really timely. So here we go now. So the classical 42 declarations, not confessions of freedom from sin that was used in ancient Egypt, must also be meditated upon in trance at this time. Select the ones that are appropriate to this day and age. So I repeated that 3 times because it's important. Now, to be said, one cometh to the double hall of Ma'ati, of separating from sins all which you have done, and seeing the faces of all the Neteru, Anet, great God, Lord of the double law, Ma'ati. I have come to thee, my Lord. I have brought myself, and I may see the beauties. I know thee. I know the names of the 42 Neteru, who exist with thee in the hall of Ma'ati, and who lives as the punishers of sinners, who live upon their blood. One day that of reckoning, inclinations before Un Neferu. Verily, Recti, Mertif, and Ma'at is thy name. Okay, and that is knowers of the law. So Recti, Mertif, and Ma'at means knowers of the law, knowers of Ma'at. Verily, I have come to thee. I have brought to thee Ma'at. I have driven away for thee wickedness. I have not done iniquity to mankind. Not have I done harm unto animals. Not have I done wickedness in the place of Ma'at. Not have I known evil. Not have I acted wickedly. Not have I overworked myself unnecessarily. Not have I come my name to the boat of Ra. That means I have not been brought to the attention of the authorities. Not have I despised God, not have I caused misery, not have I caused affliction, not have I done what is abominable to God, not have I caused harm to be done to the servant by his chief, not have I caused pain, not have I made to weep, not have I killed, not have I done harm to mankind, not have I appropriated the offerings in the temple, not have I stolen the cakes, offerings to the Neteru, not have I carried off the offerings to the blessed dead, not have I fornicated, not have I defiled myself, not have I added to or diminished the offerings, not have I stolen from the orchard, not have I trampled down the fields of another, not have I added to the weight of the scales of commerce, not have I diminished from the weight of the scales, not have I carried off the milk from the mouth of the babe, not have I driven away the cattle which were upon the pastures, not have I captured the birds of that preserves the Neteru, not have I taken fishes with bait of their own bodies, not have I turned back water at its season, not have I interfered with the course of the waters, not have I extinguished a flame at its hour, not have I violated the time for a chosen offering, not have I driven back the cattle of divine things, not have I denied God in its manifestations. Even I am pure. I am pure with the purity of the great Bennu. And Bennu is the bird that represented Kefer, the divine principle of transformation. It became the phoenix of the Greeks. It symbolizes man's ability to transcend any and all conditionings, to rise from the ashes of failure in sin. So the phoenix came from the Bennu bird. All right? So people know how they jack everything. All right? So I am pure with my purity of the great Bennu that is in Sutin Henin, a seer's abode, because I am the nose of the Lord of the wind that make mortals to live on the day of filling the Uchat in Anu, and the end of the 2nd month of the season. Before the Lord of this earth, I see the filling of the Uchat in Anu. Let not evil be done to me in this land, in this double hall of Ma'at, because I know the name of the Neteru who are in it, the followers of the great God. Okay, and there's more you can do, but that shows that it's really different than the popular 42 declarations are. You know, it's a little more detailed and you get more insight. That's why I like Ra Nefer Men's work, because he actually gives the best translations. So yeah, those are the 42 declarations. And then as the days progress, whichever way the judgment went, you will find yourself growing in wisdom and quote unquote magical power. The cycle is to be repeated each and every year of your life, as you will learn to see more and more into the secrets of the Holy Spirit, Ra, that will enable you to serve as one of God's vehicles, along with other divine men and women on earth. So let me re-say that again. As the days progress, whichever way the judgment went, so all the way the meditations went, you will find your person growing in wisdom and magical power. So like the times when he's saying, oh yeah, I have not sinned, I haven't done this, using your meditation journal, there's going to be things where you can say, yo, you know what, I didn't. You can't lie to your own conscience. Okay, so that's when you go into meditation, you will know. Okay, you know what, I failed with that.
Yeah.
It's just you and God. You know, I failed with that, and then that's what he's talking about. Even if you find yourself, fuck, I failed all this and this and this, but you're gonna still find your person growing in wisdom and
Yeah,
quote
yeah,
unquote magical power.
yeah.
Because the cycle is to repeat it each and every year of your life, as you will learn to see more and more into the secrets of the Holy Spirit, which is Ra. Okay, and that will enable you to serve as one of God's vehicles, a seer's vehicles, along with other divine men and women on earth. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. So in January we're gonna do another one, and we're gonna focus on the getting ready for February 21st. So everyone can get their books, because everyone needs the books to be a part of it, to deal with it. And we have a group chat, which no one's a part of unless you have the book. Like Grant Sheik's not even a part of it because he don't have the book. But I gotta get him the book. I gotta get him his own copy, I should say. So so when you have the book and you kind of go over it and you read it a bit, and then you're able to be a part of the group, and then we actually go through it. This is real rites of passage. You don't gotta go anywhere. You don't gotta travel to anywhere in the world. You don't gotta do anything outside of yourself except do your spiritual work. And then you do it with people. So like people, like say the basketball season's going on. Oh, what's going on today? These games, whatever. Oh, now it's the Assyrian cycle going on. So you have people be like, oh yeah, it's Amen. It's February. We're dealing with Amen. Yeah, da da da. And you see how everything connects. And then okay, it's March now. We're dealing with Assyria. So you can talk. You keep meditating on those laws throughout the year. And you look, you do the work for yourself and see what happens. That's it. Like that's all that comes down to it. You know. And I recommend everyone does an oracle reading. Go see an elder. You know what I mean? I don't really do readings for the public. I do readings for readers and for like priests and stuff like that. So, but you can go see elders, or if you're, certain thing, you can contact Grand Sheik and you do a reading. You do an oracle reading so you understand how this stuff all starts to make more sense to you. And when you do your first reading and the information that you get, then you'll be like, okay, now this is the information that's been closest to me ever, the closest to heart. So with that being said, we're going to go into the meditation, and then if there's any questions before.
Nobody put any. We can give it a couple of seconds and see, because this thing's delayed sometimes.
Yeah, if there's any comments.
Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any.
Okay, good. That's all right. Let's do this. So now, if you see your background noises and stuff, man, I got a family. We're here. When you meditate, it ain't perfect. You're not gonna create this beautiful heaven. The heavens you're creating is within your mind.
Sure.
You're gonna have people stamping around and stuff, and your children doing everything. Yo, monks meditate while walking. I did a course on meditating walking while you walk. Okay, so Buddhists with the Buddhist temple, Buddhist monks.
Well, just before we start, speak on that quickly, because I know that's one of the things that sort of deter people, the whole concept of they have to sit down somewhere and meditate.
You definitely have to do that once a day. All right, or no, that's the ideal. I don't even do that, so I'm not going to sit there in front. Like, I'm lucky if I get to do it once a week. You know what I mean? So it's like I do my best to thrive to do it once a day at nighttime, which is the Assyrian initiation, right? So yeah, don't get it twisted. You can't just smoke a spliff or go for a walk and think you're meditating. No, you gotta emulate those statues and sit down in your proper meditative position and do proper breathing, we can, okay, so that goes into how we're going to do this now. So you sit in, imagine the picture. You want to pull up a picture of one of the temples where the like Tutmos even, or one of those ones, the Dendera temples where they have like the statues of them sitting upright, hands on their palms, right? And then like you have the natural curve in your back, right? So going back to what we were talking about a second ago, though, how did it lead to that again? GS?
Say again?
Sorry, what were you talking about a second ago that led to the meditation spot position?
You're about to go into the meditation.
Yeah.
But I was asking about the sitting down and
Yes,
how to
yes, exactly. Okay, so I have to do formal meditation every day. You can't just think you can walk around and do whatever and go for a walk or smoke herb and do other stuff or whatever and think you're meditating. You actually have to go into formal meditation. The one I was thinking about is the statue where they're sitting down, like actually sitting on a throne or sitting on a chair. Yeah, because that is a reading position. That's not a meditation position. That's more of a reading and studying positions. That's Patauta. But it can be meditation, but most people can't meditate like that. I personally can't even meditate like that. Most people can't really sit and meditate like that. Only like people who can, So the way that it's meant to meditate is you sitting up like on a chair, as if you're sitting on a chair. You can use the backrest gently, your natural curve, your hands on your palm down, on your knees, and you relax and you breathe in through your nose. Your mouth is closed and your tongue is just resting where it's like touching the front of your gums, where the gums and your teeth touch, kind of on the top, and you just rest. It falls natural, and you breathe in 8 counts in through your nose, and you feel your belly. You pass the lungs, you pass the diaphragm, you pass the lungs, you pass the diaphragm, and you breathe from the belly, and your hands are down like this, right? And you do 8 counts in, 8 counts out. But it's a guided meditation, so it'll keep you. And then you'll find that all of a sudden you're thinking about the basketball scores. You're thinking about your problem with someone. You're thinking about this. Well, you just gently say, when you do that, that's a reminder that you came off the meditation. So you just remind yourself to go back into meditation. Yeah, the one there on the left here, this one looks good. Anyway, people get the idea, I guess. But so people, you need to do formal meditation. But that being said, when you have that foundation of formal meditation, you can do walking meditation. You can be in a state of meditation. Meditation is just the breath. So, but it's, it'd be harder to get in a state of meditation with other things around you, but that's part of the meditation process. You're not supposed to create this beautiful heaven outside to have a heaven inside. You're supposed to be able to create heaven inside regardless of what's happening outside.
Mm-hmm.
So, good question. Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, we could start up. I was just looking for a basic idea to put out, but
Okay, let's start up. Just basically sitting in a chair with your hands on your knees. That's it. It's really simple, but it's precise and accurate, but super simple. So what we're gonna do here is it's called the Day of Washing of the Soul. So it's 11, the 42 laws.
Hold the breath and breathe in. Breathing out slowly. Breathing in deeply, softly. Breathing out. Breathe in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Nice deep breath in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Deep breath in. And enjoying the peace. Stimulating. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. In. Slowly. And soothing. Breathing out. Breathing in. Very softly, sweetly, deeply. Breathe in. Breathing out. Breathing in on meditative. Breathing out. Breathe in. Breathing out slowly and softly. And feeling peaceful. Breathing in deeply and softly, gently. Moving all the tension out and letting the peace come in. Hold the breath and breathe in. Breathing out. Breathing in. slowly, deeply, and chanting. Breathing out and chanting with the tape. Keep chanting, always chanting. Breathing in. Breathing out and chanting. Breathing out, and keep the chanting and the breathing going. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out, and chanting with the music in your mind, chanting always. Breathing in, enjoy the peace. Breathing out slowly and softly again. How are you going to keep the breathing going? Keep the chanting going no matter what else you're doing. Keep the breathing and the chanting until the breathing goes off by itself. And enjoy the peace and the calm that's coming over you. Do you know what love is? I say, do you know what love is? Recall the good things, the good times. What did you do to deserve them? I think you should say to Meditative. Were they not gifts from God? If you know that that is the truth, you cannot stop your spirit from shouting, Toi, Meditative, Toi, Meditative. For making you the likeness of love. You know, you cannot make it on your own. You made it because others gave. They gave to themselves by giving to you. Eh? What a wonderful thing to know that the world is made up of love. Not earth, water, and air, but love. Hey, think of something good that you possess. Good thing. Now think of someone to share it with. If you've grown to adult life and have nothing of worth to share with somebody, you have wasted your years on earth. Don't you know to have something worth sharing is to be the likeness of God? You have something of value to share? Ask Natir, why did you receive such a gift? Did you truly earn it? Was it given for you? Or was it given that you may have an offering to bring to God on the day of washing of souls? Think of something to share. Think of someone to share it with. Just think of a good thing that you have and someone in that reading, that word of God that you thought was so troubling. Oh yes, you can see the light entering your soul. You are purified. You have shared your soul has been washed. Yes. See yourself sharing with that person. And know that your soul has been washed.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, that was power.
Yeah. When you start doing the meds, you start doing the journals, you start doing the readings, that's when you really start to see it for yourself. You can't do it until you do it.
Shit.
You can never do it too much, and you can never do it like enough.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can never do it good enough. Like you can always get better at it. So it's a cycle. It's just a cycle. Initiation process is not a one-time thing. That there is aspects for that, but it's a lifelong thing.
Mhm.
And connecting back to the Moorish connection, with going to court or going to when you're proper person. It's the same. Basically, you're taking yourself to court. A seer, your true self, is taking your lower self to
Right.
court.
Yeah.
Your proper person, and you notice he said your person. Even the language that is used is similar and simultaneous. Similar, and,
That was heavy.
yeah.
Give thanks, God. That was, yeah.
Yeah, give thanks.
Any more have any questions out there? Put it out right now. If not, don't forget that we're here. Canaanland Moore's YouTube, also Canaanland Moore's IG, and get your study on. More science goes deeper than just go to court, beat some tickets or whatever.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, hit up get the books, get a part of the group chat, and then we'll do this at least once a month. I was thinking maybe when the cycle begins, we could do it more often. And I was thinking, how am I going to be able to share the meditative guided meditations? Well, I could just do it right on the YouTube, and then people could go on the YouTube, get a little insight into that law, and then boom, the meditation's right there too.
Right.
So and they could just play that, and they can do that. So they could just hit you up for the book. We can set it up. I think it's right now it's about $25 or $30 for a copy.
That's just buying it online.
Let's say 30 for like sending it and shipping it.
Yeah.
And the funds, all the funds go.
Getting it online. Just getting.
They could just hit you up for it.
Yeah.
They can message you for the book, and then I'll get it to you. And then the money can go towards the book itself, the cost for the book, and then anything else can go. It's non-profit, so it'll just go back to the temple.
All right. One of the Moors in the chat said their crown chakra's tingling.
Yeah, man. For sure.
Straight.
Yeah, like meditation is real. I need to do it more often. This is good. It's good. It's been a good reminder for me to do it more often too.
For real.
formal meditation.
Yeah.
And proper meds. It's the only way to program the computer. Try to update your computer and don't follow the exact and precise guidelines. You will never be able to update that software.
Yeah.
You want to update software and you want to change certain things about your life and you want to evolve mentally, spiritually, and consciously, then there's specific ways to do it. You got to go through, follow the protocol, the iOS.
Any other questions out there, Morris? PJKTS at hotmail.com. If you're looking to get any more info or deeper than what we did here, first just get the books. And once you get the books and you do your studying, then you ask your questions.
Yeah, so really, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying guarantee your questions will be answered once you start getting into the information.
Yeah, guaranteed. And the only book you need for the Kemetic Moorish classes right now is this one book. So it's not even like anything. And you can get it directly from Cujo one time. Just message, email him. We'll say I can't get brand new ones like this, so I could get copies. We'll say $30 for the photocopying, binding, and shipping. And anything above the cost of the book would just go back to the temple, so we can maybe get more books printed and stuff like that. You know, because I deal with this nonprofit. If you want to do oracle readings, if you want to do Kemetic oracle readings to know your destiny and your Kemetic name, then you can hit me up, and you could do that. That that costs. That is a fee, but I don't do it just for anybody. So not anybody who messaged me and emailed me for that is gonna get a reading. So there's an application process basically. So that's it. Get the book. Get the Meditative 4. That's and then I can.
Meditative 4, Morris, that's where it's at. One of them Morris said he has 1 and 2 already.
Perfect.
And he didn't get it from us, so I'm pretty sure you can get them online if the more got it 1 and 2.
Yes, and part 2 you can use as a reference material for part 4, and part 4 will give you the exact step-to-step guidelines for the initiation, and then part 2 it has the initiation based on just starting anytime. It's not based on the solar cycle, so you can use it as a reference point because it has a lot of information in part 2. A lot of information. But
Any closing remarks or thoughts?
Cycle. No, man. Everything moves in a cycle. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Keep it simple, student.
Keep it simple. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Give thanks again, Moor.
Yeah, I'll give thanks more. Great. Big up the GS and the Canaanland Moors.
Honors.
Yeah.
And all you trolls out there, this is not your time right now. So you could FOH right now.
Yeah, let them know I'm KTS, man. I'm KTS. I'm the street shaman. KTS. I was born shaman. I'm a born shaman and I'm the keeper of the Kemetic information. This is what I've been told by my elders that have never met me, elders that know me through spirit, and then they don't know I have the Meditative tatted on my arms. They don't know I live this, and I am the keeper of the Kemetic pyramids, and I actually come from the Minoan Islands right above Kemet. So yeah, you know what I mean. Peace and love and respect, and more honors to the righteous souls.
Honors to you, fam.
Honors to you, fam. Keep up the good work. Yeah.
Love Moors Islam, and we'll connect again soon. You already know how it goes.
Yeah.
Islam.
Peace.
Peace.